as I leave Congress, I'm happy to know that I leave Congress having made a great friendship with you over the years that we've served together. And I wanted to put that in the record somewhere now that someone can't send a direct mail piece.
Thank you, and you could have said it even when it did hurt me.
I
I wouldn't have minded. Thank you.
Unfortunately, that's part of the reality of Washington, D.C., that you can't tell people who you sometimes admire or are a friend with or whose company you cherish. Having said that, look, I think we have to fundamentally understand Maria within the context of the federal government. Why? I know you say to me, oh, that's all local. The federal government, right, has the sovereignty over the island of Puerto Rico. What does that mean? Any rule and any legislation that we pass here in the Congress of the United States is immediately implemented over the island of Puerto Rico. I mean, you say, oh, well, the infrastructure wasn't there, some of the stuff. You eat Chiquita bananas on a tropical island in Puerto Rico. But I would suggest that you check why that is. And this is the imposition, right, of rules of the Congress of the United States over what can be grown, planted, and what can be done. The island of Puerto Rico, I'm sure you have noticed now, produces what it doesn't consume and consumes what it doesn't produce. A classical colonial situation of subjugation of the people of Puerto Rico. Now, open up a new Walmart or Walgreens, just like that. Have opportunities for economic investment where people actually get jobs, very slow. As a matter of fact, the Congress of the United States has stripped the ability of the people of Puerto Rico to have those kinds of jobs and to do what we have to do. Look, I came here to say to the chairman and to all of those that are here, you have a huge task because of your boss. It was the President of the United States that said, the people of Puerto Rico are busting the budget. And I go back to what my colleague, Nidia Velázquez, said. Did we bust the budget when thousands of us died in times of war? Isn't the highest tax that anyone pay that of their blood and that of their life? And Puerto Ricans have obviously done that. Second, the President of the United States said, basically said Puerto Ricans are lazy. Now, Mexicans are murderers, rapists, and drug dealers. And Puerto Rico, well, you had a hurricane. Why do I say that? Because he said they want the federal government to do everything for them. That is a lie. How do I know it's a lie? Because although this administration would not allow members of Congress to use, right, Air Force facilities to fly to the island of Puerto Rico that we wanted to, I got on a plane. I know Nidia got on, Congresswoman Velázquez, sorry for being so personal, Nidia, got on a plane too. We were able to get there with no assistance. Now, I want to make sure that I also make this clear. I know that there are hundreds of men and women that work at FEMA every day, that go out there to do an outstanding job. I see them, I've met with them, and I know there are members of the armed forces of the United States that have been out there. But this is the most powerful, richest, most technologically advanced country in the world. So in spite of what you saw them do, we didn't do what we can. We're rich, we're powerful, we're technologically advanced. We still have blue tarps a year and a half later over people's roofs. The light still goes out. The water still ceases to come. People are still fleeing the island. And I just wanted to say, as you make your plans, I know that we have a president of the United States that said in his gut, he's really intelligent, but in his gut, he doesn't believe that climate change is real, although 13 governmental agencies and hundreds of sciences, the hundreds of thousands of Puerto Ricans that no longer live on that island, live in Chicago, they live in Florida, they live throughout the United States. Those are climate change. The hurricanes are coming back. The waters are getting warmer. Prepare, because on the low side, Mr. Director, it's 3,000. On the high side, it's 4,500 people died. Compare that to how many people died in the last hurricane. Unfortunately, one life is one life too many. But when you think you can take immediately after the last hurricane in Florida, right, and look at your numbers, I bet you don't get to 100, thank God, right? Yet in Puerto Rico, it's 300 to 400, 4,500. and the hurricanes are coming back. So I say, look, for what you did, thank you. For what you have to prepare, I urge you to do it. And that's why I came here this morning. Thank you so much.
Gentleman from Illinois yields back. I thank you for what you said and for 8 years of friendship.
Thank you very much.
The gentleman from Louisiana has patiently been waiting and has constantly been engaged and involved with this issue, even though he's not on our committee. So we welcome you. The gentleman's recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And Mr. Chairman, I do want to commend your staff for putting the report together. I think it identified a number of really important issues that not just face the 2017 or 2018 disasters, but certainly has identified some areas for improvement for the future disasters that we know are going to be coming. Mr. Chairman, I think it's noteworthy that since 1980, I believe we've had about 220 disasters that have cost our nation